Good morning. This is Mr. Reeves here. I have a very special video for you today. I was hoping we could do this in person, but because of the way things are, we have to do this remotely. When we get started, I want to introduce you to my friend, Fred. Now, Fred here has volunteered to help us out with learning about the skeletal and muscular system. Now, Fred was not injured in this process. He volunteered. As a matter of fact, he was built just for this. Now, Fred is our model, and now he is a model of the human skeletal, muscular, respiratory, and digestive systems. So when we look at Fred here, his skin is clear. So if I remove his outer layer of skin, that will reveal all of the wonderful things inside. Now, today we want to look at the skeletal system and the muscular system. Carefully, I will use my tools and, well, let's just start examining what we see here. Down his right arm, I can see that the bones are exposed. With his left arm, we still see the muscles intact. The same way with his left leg, the muscles and veins are intact. We'll look at those a little bit closer later on. But right now, I want to focus on the skeletal system. Now, the bones of the skeletal system are designed to support and protect the human body. Now, our leg bones are designed to support us and help us walk. Now, I'm going to have to carefully remove the bone here. Fred doesn't want to let that bone go. You know what? Let's just grab it on out of there, Fred. That bone was in there. So if we look closely, we can see that this bone is a solid structure, and its main purpose is to support the body, most specifically the leg. So without these bones, we would not be able to hold ourselves up. We would be squishy and gooey like a snail or an octopus. So these bones help us walk around, maneuver, and escape from danger, hunt food. We have several smaller bones in the lower part of the leg, but let's focus on the upper part of the body. The rib cage. The rib cage is there to protect all of the wonderful squishy organs that are inside. Now, your rib cage won't lift out like this. Your rib cage is held intact and it stays together to protect you. And so Fred here, his bones aren't exactly like ours. It's mainly helping us look and see what the inside of our own bodies look like. So you can see that rib cage was protecting a lot of the organs in the chest area, more specifically the heart, the lungs, right here, the liver. So that rib cage is there so that if we take a hit, if we're bumped or we run into something, it protects our vital organs so that we don't prematurely enter the death life cycle. We look at Fred's skull here. We can see that his skull is solid, except for the eye sockets and the teeth. Now, if I were to remove the top part of Fred's skull, it exposes the brain. Now, the brain is very delicate. If our brain is damaged in any way, it could cause an early death, or it could cause certain disabilities or functions to move, to think, to speak. So the skull, the cranium, is very important in protecting our brain. Now, luckily, Fred doesn't need his brain anymore, so nothing's going to hurt it. But our skull is very important in protecting our brain. Now, if we remove the organs, I want to take a closer look underneath. So we'll look at the organs again later, but I want to remove all of the organs and set those aside. Sorry, Fred. We get to see the rest of the complete skeletal system. Let's put that rib cage back in place. So now we can see the full skeletal system on this side. The pelvis or the hip bone connected to our vertebrae, our spine. Again, these bones help support Fred and they support us. But our bones can't move on their own. Our bones need help to move. And that's where our muscles come in. If I remove his left arm, thank you, Fred, we can look and see the muscles. Now, the muscles are clearly defined. You can see the strands. They're like a bundle of long, stretchy rubber bands, and those muscles bend and contract. They pull to make the muscles move. To make the bones move. Without these muscles, our bones would not be able to move. So in the movies, when you see a skeleton walking around by itself, that's not supposed to be able to happen because the skeleton has no muscles to move that bone. Now, if we look at his right arm, we can see that the bones are not, they're not solidly connected together. So bones have these tendons. Well, tendons connect the bones to the muscles, cartilage, other things in the joints to help the bones move. So the bones, without the muscles, without the tendons, without the ligaments, they would just fall apart and crumble. So they need to be held together in order to function, and they can't move without the muscles. The same thing for the leg muscles. Sorry, Fred. Good thing you're not alive. We can see the veins carrying the blood to and from the muscles. And again, those muscles are long, stretchy, fibrous tissues that help those bones move. Now, this has been a close look at the muscular and skeletal system. I hope I didn't miss anything. If I did, where's Fred? Fred has lost his mind. So we'll take a look at the organs in our second video, and we'll talk about what those do to help you survive. See you next time.